like playing that video.
I think the video is great. I think it needs to be longer.
Yeah.
Need to show some action scenes in it.
Some Chuck Norris stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solar Norris.
There you go.
Yeah. We should sign him up. He'd be a good he's in Texas, I think. Good market.
Texas Ranger, right? Back in the 80s?
That's right. That's right.
Anyways, welcome everybody. Another week with People's Power. And we have an interesting topic. A lot of people don't quite understand them. And we're going to talk about warranties. Does it come with the entire system? Does it only come with partial warranties? Is everything covered for certain lengths of time? Or what is covered and what's not covered?
Yeah, I mean, people want peace of mind. I mean, if they're going to invest in something or if they're going to lease it, do they have, what happens if it doesn't work?
Right.
Case in point, go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's a lot of misinformation out there as far as what's covered, what's not covered. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great topic.
Well, let's start with the roof. Panels are going to go on my roof and, kind of nervous. Brand new house. It will avoid my current warranty if I have one. And then another question too, guys, is do most people have a warranty on their roof if it's an older house? And I know you guys can answer these questions, so that's why I'm asking them.
So let's start with the new house first. And so new houses, will it void my new house warranty? And the answer is it could be. Some manufacturers are very, very adamant about their warranties, but some of them only offer the 5 and 10 year anyway. It depends on the manufacturer, and if it's a brand new house, I would always ask. I can tell you that when all the solar systems are on there and all the news on there, there's not a epidemic of leaking roofs because of solar. If so, it would be on the news all over the place. So it's not really a concern, but obviously it is a concern when you buy a house.
Have you guys ever had a solar system leak?
Yeah. I have. I mean, it happens. You have to understand these systems are put on by people. We're not perfect. People are not perfect. Things happen, but generally the likelihood of something. I mean, the technology has gotten so good as far as the mounting systems and the way they do things these days. It's very unlikely anything's ever going to leak on a project, right? I mean, that's usually a big concern of a homeowner, but it should be one of their least concerns. So
I have had a few. I could actually name them. That's how few I have had. And yeah, it's not really a big concern, just like Ken said. But in all of the years we've been doing this, and all the solar installs that I can say I personally touched my hands on, I could name them on less than one hand that have had issues. So it's not really a huge concern, even though that people don't know. Again, this information. And what's nice about it is that most companies offer a attachment point. I hate to use the word penetration, but the attachment point warranty for 10 full years. A few companies out there have them for 20. 10 years is about average what people live in a home anyway, and that's more than most warranties. If you got a new roof, I think roofers only do like a 3 to 5 year warranty on their own work for a brand new roof. So for us to put a 10-year on it, most companies are 10 years. It's pretty legit.
So I'm going to put them on the south-facing part of my roof, guys. But I have an issue on the north. 3 years from now, I see a leak on the north side of my roof. Is that covered?
No, that wouldn't be covered. I mean, we're going to cover, and most solar companies are going to cover what they actually physically touched on the roof. One of the things that, there's different style of roofs as well. You have shingles, you have tile roofs, you have flat roofs, right? When we talk about flat roofs, there's actually mounting. The way they're doing panels these days is they're not even actually penetrating the roofs. They're doing what's called ballast mounts, and they're just weighted down on the roof, and they're not even penetrating. So it's a lot of good technology out there right now.
On flat roofs, not on pitch roofs, though, right?
Just on flat. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the hardware is different on all types of roofs. So we can do, standing seam metal roofs. People are like, why would you do that? Why would you penetrate a metal roof? Well, with the sealant and all that kind of stuff, and the ways it's sealed, it's amazing. So we can do all those type of roofs.
So yeah, the metal roof, they're not even on a metal roof, they're not even penetrating as well. They're as you said, they're metal seamed. They're clamping onto the seam of the roof, and nothing's ever penetrated into the home.
Correct.
All right, so my roof is covered, so I basically can sleep at night. So, okay, awesome. Regarding the panels, let's say if one of the panels goes down or two of the panels goes down, what's my warranty on the panels?
Let's take it back another question. How would they know if a panel goes down? Let's back it up a little bit, because you have a full system with, let's say, 40 panels on a roof, and a panel goes down. How would a homeowner know?
Well, I would say, assuming monitoring works, then they would be able to see them. So there's what they're producing.
Yeah.
Well, we know the answers, Jeff. This is for the audience. We know the answers to this. I'm not asking like I don't know. I'm asking, because this is information that I think everyone needs to know and understand. When a system goes up and you have these warranties, how do they know what's working and what's not working?
Well,
Kevin, you can answer that.
Monitoring is included there, but most of the time you will not know. Most companies don't offer active monitoring. So unless you're watching your system or you see your energy bill, in a month or two, type of thing, and looking at the system, you may not know. And that's kind of the difference between, I'll have to say, us and many others out there, is that we have active monitoring, because we guarantee the system will produce the amount of energy we say it will. So most customers will not know if one or two panels go out, Jeff, in a system. With us, it's not a good business practice or plan to not only give you solar at an amazing price, but then also pay you back for it. So we want to actively monitor that system for that 25 years, so that if a panel does go out, we'll know probably before you do as a customer, and we'll be the one making that phone call saying, we need somebody to come out and change out panel 31 and 32 out of your 40 panel system, or whatever it might be. When's a good time for us to come to the property?
Kevin, are all panels created equal?
No, of course not. No. So panel warranties, that's funny. From the manufacturer, panels have a 10-year warranty, up to, there's a few panels that have a 30-year warranty. And then there's a lot of other figures and all that as well. For me, I like to use only a select few panels because of our high, when the sun here tries to kill you, you need to have a high quality panel, not just a solar panel, especially on your roof for many, many years to come. So all solar is not created the same. Equipment is very important, especially for the areas that you're in. Albuquerque, New Mexico is a little bit higher up. It's not quite as hot as long. You can use different materials there than you can, I would say, in southern Arizona, where 3 months out of the year, you can't touch your steering wheel for a few minutes out in a parking lot. So that's a big thing too. So warranties are a big deal. Manufacturing warranties are a thing. So let's say, when we say we have a warranty for 25 years, and somebody goes, well, what happens if you're not around? And that's always
or
a
you
great
move, or you move, or you move.
right, or I move, or I'm somewhere else. But no, as a service provider, and I'm like, well, the panels have a manufacturing warranty from an international company. These panels are not mom and pop panels. These are panels that are produced in the hundreds of millions, probably. So that these big companies, just like an automobile, you buy an automobile in Colorado and you're in Arizona, or you move to Florida, you can still go to that dealership with a brand and have it serviced. And that's kind of the same thing with panels. In this event something happens to myself, there's another backing behind that warranty to make sure it's covered for a panel materials.
Aren't they warranty for? I heard 10 years, but I thought they were warranty for like 25 years.
Yeah, so some panels, I'm not saying the ones that we use, but there are some panels out there that are, solar panels people use, have a 10-year warranty, 12-year warranty. The panels that we use as a manufacturer all typically have a 25-year warranty. But with the company that with a company, our entire system, regardless of what the manufacturing warranty is covered for 25 years. And that system has to produce power for 25 years. And if it does not, it's covered under our power production warranty, which is something most people don't get and are not offered because most companies don't provide it. We are so confident in what we do that if I tell you the system's going to produce 15,000 units of power per year, kilowatt hours, and it does not, up to a certain percentage, we will pay you the difference. With that being said, that means we have to actively monitor the system so that you can enjoy your life, you can do what you're doing, and you don't have to be on your app all the time seeing if you're producing power. And that's a really added good convenience and benefit, and obviously peace of mind for any customer, knowing that if the system isn't producing, you're not out of luck. We're going to actually give you a check back for that loss of power.
And not a lot of companies do that.
Correct.
Yeah, I love that part of it. I mean, I just love that it's guaranteed to produce X. If it falls below a certain production, just send in your utility bill, and we'll cut you a check back for the difference. We're going to make it right. So, yep. Which is the right thing to do.
And what does that mean? It means that we're going to only use the best materials for the climate, for the conditions, and for your usage. We're not going to use stuff. Why would we use subpar stuff?
Yeah, not only that. I mean, having a warranty like that, it's giving a homeowner peace of mind that they're going to be out there hopefully pretty quickly to fix it, because every day that system's not producing, they have to pay more money.
Yeah, we do. We have to pay more money back to the homeowner for that. And that doesn't make it for a good business model, right? So we're going to have better service, better materials. We're going to do it right the first time, because, coming back out to a property is time and money. And that's not good for any business. Doesn't matter if you're in the solar business or if you're in whatever business that you're doing. Any service that you're providing costs you time and money. So we want to make sure, again, 100% the first time. Again, done by people. Nobody's ever perfect, but we really do our best and pride ourselves on our quality of work to make it happen.
All right, so let's talk about inverters. So what I tell people, the only thing someone needs to honestly be concerned about, from my experience, is the inverters. Sometimes they go down, but like Kevin said, we get notified, we'll come out to fix it, replace it. Everything is under warranty, which we'll talk about how long those warranties are. Basically, we have 3 products on the inverter type. We have Tesla now, we have Solar Edge, and we have Enphase. So, let's say a year from now, 2 years from now, my inverter just, doesn't work. My system is down, and they're expensive. Inverters are not cheap. So, what happens now? Who do I call? Do I call you guys? Do I call the installer? Is it triggered? Is it pinged when something happens? What's scenario there?
It's so first is if anything happens, you call us. Call us. That's the nice thing about having customer service and having somebody on your side to make sure we can get it taken care of. We're neighbors, we're friends, we're family, whatever it might be. You know, and we're going to make sure we take care of it as quickly as possible. What happens? Sure, you're on your monitoring system. It'll show that it's not producing. And on some inverters, there's lights. A red light always means stop, bad, wrong, wrong way, anything like that, right? So red is anything. Then there's some red. You're giving us a call. The nice thing is that you have an app right on your phone. Support. You can hit that support number to get in contact with somebody as well in the event that we're not reachable by chance, which I'm going to say is pretty rare, but it does happen. And you can get in contact with somebody in support. They can monitor the system or kind of log into your system, check it out. Oh yeah, it hasn't been producing. When was a good time to come out? They'll get something scheduled so that they can get that taken care of. Why? Because if the system is not working, it's not producing the amount of power we said it was going to produce, and that could be money. And it is over 1 year. So it's not like an instantaneous thing. You're not going to get checks every single day or month or something like that. It is based on 12 months of production. So there's some months where it might overproduce and it could, fall back into place. But there's no reason, again, to stress out about or, have any sleepless nights about my system's not producing the power today because it was overcast. Don't worry, there's plenty of sunny days out there.
Yeah. How often does an inverter go out? Obviously there's lots of moving parts, or not moving parts, but a lot of technology in the whole system. But inverters, what's the lifespan on inverters?
I've had mine on my other house. It's been nothing has happened. It's got to be 10 years now. Nothing has happened.
It's awesome.
Made by people. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes you get a bad batch of them. Sometimes a run. Sometimes they miss an item or something like that, kind of like a recall on an automobile or something. But it's super rare. I'm going to say less than 1%, less than 0.5%.
But it is covered, right? So it's covered for typically how long is it? And another thing, I got another question for you guys. I sell my house. Is it transferable? How does that work?
So no, it's not transferable because there's nothing to transfer. The warranty is not in your name. It's in the property's name. It's a property warranty, basically. There's nothing to do with you about it. It's for 25 years. Obviously, for convenience and all that kind of stuff, you always want to let the company know who, instead of saying Mr. Smith, it should be Mr. Williams, or whatever it might be. So they're not calling you the wrong name. But no, the whole that system is warranted for us. It's for everything except for the roof, being 10 years, 25 full years with no trip charges, service fees, parts. The materials are covered, but you have to pay for labor. There's none of that with us, and I can't say that with other companies as well. There are trip fees and all of that. So I've seen that firsthand.
So once you invest in your solar system, you're pretty much set. What I tell people, guys, is set it and forget it, for the most part. I mean, like Kevin said, you should be living your life. You shouldn't be looking at your monitoring. And let's say 24/7. I mean, you have other stuff to do. So I mean, let's say if the system does go down. I mean, so it goes down it takes like a couple of weeks maybe to get someone out there to fix the system. I mean, think about that. So you're going to be in the house for 10 years and you're missing 2 weeks. Let's think big picture here too. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're not going to, and plus you have the production guarantee warranty, like Kevin mentioned, that if it falls below a certain production, you're still covered. So you're covered either way. And the reason why they set this up in the beginning is because these are homeowners' concerns. They know this is going to happen. What happens if a newer, more efficient panel comes out? How often do we hear that? Well, no, not a problem. I mean, they might get 2 inches smaller or whatever, or maybe it doesn't really matter because when you paid for the system, it's guaranteed to produce X. Doesn't matter if it's 10 panels or 25, 15 panels.
Sure.
Let's talk about another subject here about, so what wouldn't be covered under a manufacturer warranty, and how could it possibly get covered?
Well, acts of God I think is the big thing, right? Anything that's not a manufacturing defect for that. You've got kids that throw rocks, and not to say a rock would even break a panel, but you got somebody stealing copper and wanting to, pull boxes out. There's a lot of vandalism, I guess is what I'm trying to say, would not be covered under a manufacturing warranty. Again, acts of God, weather, severe weather. The panels have a 115 mile an hour. I think according to the permit, it's 115 miles an hour is what they're able to withstand as far as winds. And in most areas, not really a problem. And that's just what it's supposed to withstand. That's not the limit. So, random, the random acts of God, the random of personal involvement. You go up there, you start stepping on your panels or something like that, or you're doing some roof work, hanging Christmas tree lights, and you fall backwards and through a panel. It's really not a manufacturing defect.
So what would actually cover that? I mean, if the manufacturer's going, hey, I'm not going to cover it, and now there's been damage on those panels, how does a homeowner get it covered?
Well, right. If somebody owns the system, a great question. If somebody owns the system, you need to have homeowner's insurance on it. You need to call your homeowner's insurance. You need to, let them know. They're going to ask how many panels. And all that kind of stuff. They'll ask you a certain amount of questions. And most of the time, some companies don't even raise your premiums. And then some premiums are $8 difference a month, up to $15. I think I've seen is probably my worst.
I think it depends on where you live, Kevin, too. So
that might be too.
I've researched this in Florida. Florida's a different ballgame. So,
Florida is a different ballgame, yeah. So there are certain areas, and of course, you're going to have state laws. Obviously, since we're in, 34 states now, I believe? 35? 34. Different states are going to have different requirements, obviously. So you do have to check with, your homeowner's insurance in your state. But I can tell you for where we are in Arizona, you want to contact them. You want to get that covered. Yeah. And it could raise your premium slightly, a few $100s a year, but
yeah, I mean, if you're dealing with a big box insurance store, typically you're not going to pay. I mean, we're talking to you from Arizona right now, but typically you're not going to pay for. It doesn't go up,
right?
So, I did have it through a boutique type of insurance, and my premium, I think it went up to about $65 a year, and then I canceled it. And I went to more of a gigantic store, and they said no increase in check. All we need to know is how many panels you have, and give us the purchase agreement, and we'll take it from there. So I said perfect.
Yeah, they make it quite easy. Solar. What's neat about solar now is that so many people have it. It's so before it used to be the new thing. Nobody knew about it yet. Nobody knew how to cover it. Now. Oh, you have solar. How many panels do you have? Send us the agreement. It's handled. And you're good to go.
So we've covered roof, we've covered panels, we've covered inverters. We've covered insurance. You only need insurance if you're owning the system. If you're leasing the system, you don't need insurance because it's carried with the leasing company. Yeah, I got our next topic, guys, next week. I already thought about it. It's leasing versus owning, the advantages and disadvantages of both.
Stay tuned for that.
There you go.
That's always a good one as well.
Yep. Is there anything else to cover on warranties that we forgot to mention or didn't touch upon enough?
I have one. So people think about maintenance. And that's kind of almost a warranty thing. Do you take care of it? Since you're warranting the system, do you take care of maintenance as well? And,
what kind of maintenance? What kind of maintenance would I need to do?
That's a great question, Jeff. And most of the time, it's zero. So in Arizona here, if you're not from Arizona, we have cactus. Everybody knows about cactus. You don't have to water it. You don't have to do anything to it. You just let it do its thing. It'll live, right? In the high heat and the cold and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how I talk about my solar panels. They're like cactus. Leave it alone. Right? When do you maintain it? Well, if you have to, and you feel that you think you have.
If you want to water it, if you want to clean off your panels, you can.
You want to? Does it?
If your cactus gets a little dirty and there's a bird nesting inside your cactus, you can put bird netting around it.
Yeah, I don't think you ever have to clean them. Does it affect the panels? 1% maybe. That's some people say 3 to 5%. I don't know.
I honestly don't think you need to. I've been solar on all my homes for the last 10 years. I've never washed my panels. Now, if you live in an area where there's foliage or snow or something that's covering those panels, yeah, you probably want to clean them off. But in this environment, dust is not really going to affect it. Rain will clean those panels off just fine.
Yeah. I always say monsoons are the maintenance. It's up today's, the weekly
panel cleaning day.
The panel cleaning
Perfect.
day.
It rain. It's raining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else we didn't cover, guys, and I know it's a big topic: batteries, warranties on batteries.
Why don't we dedicate another episode for that? There's a lot of detail in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
But batteries themselves, there is, but the basics of it, most battery companies are 10 years. One is a 12-year warranty, one that we don't sell, and then one we do sell does have a 15-year warranty.
10 to 15 years.
Yeah, so it's 10 to 15 years really on batteries. That's standard really across the board with it. But yes, when we get into details, batteries is another great topic to have. That we could spend a lot of time on as far as the details because of difference in batteries. And all of them work in, every area. It's not like we're panels that are sitting out on the sun, on the roof, which is the hottest part, on the property. Batteries, they can be tucked away inside, shade, all that kind of stuff. So very different ideas.
Okay. So we have another topic coming up too. So guys, I thought that was a good call. So I think I know a lot of homeowners are concerned, like, what happens? Is it covered? This is a big investment. I want to make sure it is set it and forget it, just like all the other salespeople say. But really, now you know everything about warranties. So hopefully this has helped you out. If you liked it, please follow us, like and subscribe, however you're watching this. If you have any questions at all, you can always click on the comments section and we'll get back to you.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care, guys. Take care. Bye.